Morning guys from here in Maspalomas.
Here we are in Malaga Airport.
We're in the city of Brussels, the capital.
Welcome to the centre of Porto.
Welcome
to Marrakesh.
So guys, a very good afternoon from me here in southeast London, and unfortunately our time here has come to an end. And it's just my luck, it's the most beautiful day of the trip today. It's about 20 degrees and there is not a cloud in the sky here in London. So comfortable, in fact, I'm wearing a t-shirt. Not the best luck, but anyway, we've had such a fantastic time here in London. What we're going to do now is we're going to head over to East Croydon train station, where we're going to catch the train to Gatwick Airport, and then we're going to catch our connecting flight to Gibraltar. So come join me guys, let's go. So it is the 6th of October 2025, and London looks absolutely stunning with a clear blue sky. It's not a long journey between my house and East Croydon train station, only taking about 10 to 15 minutes, and we arrive here at East Croydon to catch our train on to Gatwick Airport. Now, the train from here to Gatwick Airport is only one stop, and it takes about 12 to 15 minutes. So here we are, we're on the train down to Gatwick, and this train is always busy as it's full of holiday makers coming from London. So we were quite lucky to get a seat today, but after 15 minutes or so we arrive here at Gatwick Airport train station, and it is a very short walk into the terminal, although we will need to catch the monorail, the transfer between the north and the south terminal. So here we are, we make our way into the airport. And as we can see, the airport is busy today. Gatwick is the second busiest airport in the UK, and it's the second airport to serve the city of London. So there are so many flights departing and arriving into Gatwick. There is no wonder the place is always heaving. We're flying with Easyjet today, and our flight has taken us down to Gibraltar. It's a flight that we do very, very regularly. And we made our way to the shuttle here, so let's board the shuttle, and it's only about 2 or 3 minutes to get up to the North Terminal, so it's a very quick transfer indeed. And that's good because we are running slightly late today. I'm not worried yet, I'm not going to start running yet, but we are running a little bit behind schedule to catch this flight. But here we are arriving into the North Terminal here. This is where the majority of Easyjet flights leave Gatwick. So if you're travelling Easyjet, you're more than likely to end up here in the North Terminal, although they do operate from the South Terminal as well. Now, we already have our boarding passes printed, so there's no need to check in, and we haven't got any large pieces of luggage. So it's time for a quick fag, and then we'll be going straight through to departures. Now the sky looks absolutely fantastic still, and in fact I think the weather is more impressive here than it will be in Gibraltar this evening as we take one last look at the UK. So guys, we've made it to Gatwick Airport with not a lot of time to spare. We've actually got 40 minutes before the plane is due to depart, hence the reason I've just had to run through the airport, run through the train station, and yeah, I'm about to go through to departures now. I mean, I'm going to make it. I just want to have enough time to buy the reduced sandwiches from WH Smith's. I think it's WH Smith's or Boots, one of them. Absolutely stunning day we are leaving London on. Wow, the temperature is about 21 degrees now here at Gatwick Airport, and I am just so comfortable in a t-shirt. It's absolutely fantastic, guys. But I've got to cut this intro short because we've got to run through to departures and find our boarding gate. Come on, guys. So, okay, we may need to run a little bit to catch this flight, but I'm still not worried as we make our way into the departure area here at the North Terminal. We've seen quite a few people heading that way as well. Now, I'm sure I've said it a few times, but Gatwick is my favourite UK airport. I will always try to travel in or out of Gatwick. Number one, it's the closest one to my house. Number two, it's the airport that I'm most familiar with. And number three, I just find it very, very easy to travel through Gatwick Airport. So we can see the spoons there. That's probably the most profitable Wetherspoons in the United Kingdom, and it's always packed, whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the evening. But let's make our way to the gate as our flight is being called. So guys, we hit up Boots to get some last minute meal deals, and I tell you everything was £1.50, so I got myself a couple of katsu chicken curries, I got some Korean chicken wings and a couple of sandwiches to take back to Gibraltar, so I don't have to worry about dinner tonight. The plane's starting to board now, so we're just making our way to the gate. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Gatwick. So we've got a middle seat again, unfortunately, so what I am going to try and do is I'm going to try and wait to be the last person on the plane, then I'm going to try and snag a better seat because it's a beautiful afternoon to be filming out of the window. Come on guys, let's catch this flight. So it's time just to have a little seat here. We can see our plane ahead of us. We can also see what reduced food we have bought. So I'm not going to be ripped off by Easyjet this afternoon as I've got my own grub with me. So the game starts. I try to be the very last person to board the flight, but there is this geezer here who's got the same idea as me. So I think we are going to be thrashing it out for the best seat. But we're almost there, we're almost boarding the flight. We can see we are getting closer to the plane doors as we get ready to be the last person or the second to last person to board this flight. Now I have looked at the seating map just before we got on the plane, so I do know where there is a decent empty seat.
We ask that you remain in the allocated seat which is printed on your boarding pass unless you have been spoken to by the cabin crew, and this is...
Well, I completely ignored that instruction there.
We are pretty much ready to go now, so we are looking good, hopefully for an on-time departure. When we do get going, probably around a 15 to 20 minute taxi out here in Gatwick to depart off the westerly facing runway and then head down towards Southampton initially. Flight time to Gibraltar today is 2.5 hours. We are expecting a pretty smooth flight, shouldn't be much or any turbulence to speak of. And weather down in Gibraltar at the moment is looking reasonable. A little bit cloudy there, but higher level cloud. Visibility is good with fairly light easterly breeze and a temperature of 22 degrees.
So as we taxi out the stand, we make our way to depart London Gatwick. We think about what a wonderful little week this has been in London. I thoroughly enjoyed my trip, and well, it's always sad to say goodbye to your hometown. But I won't be sad for too long because I know where I live and I'm excited to get back to Gibraltar. So 2.5 hours I'll be back on home soil as we make our way past the famous air bridge and we head to the runway. Now, I'm pretty impressed with this seat that I've bagged, and I think we're going to get some lovely shots of the flight across Europe today and down to Gibraltar. So here we are taking off at an incredible speed as we leave Gatwick here, and we're going to head over the South Downs, head over the Channel Islands, across the northwest of France, over the Bay of Biscay, straight past Madrid, straight past Seville, and then down into Gibraltar. I have done this trip so many times that I can actually look out the plane window and know where I am, as if you were driving along the motorway and you look out the window and you know where you are. This is how frequent I've done this trip. But here we are as we take off and we leave the county of Surrey and West Sussex behind us. It is an absolutely stunning view of what is turning out to be an absolutely stunning day. Look at that beautiful British countryside down below, the fields and the trees and the forests look so green. There is no better place on the planet, in my opinion, than the British countryside. And maybe that's what we'll do on our next trip to London. Maybe we'll spend more time in the countryside than visiting urban parts of the city. But let's take in some of these beautiful views as we settle in for this 2 hour and 30-minute flight today down to Gibraltar. And I hope the weather stays like this the whole way. Now at the moment there are only 2 flight companies that travel to Gibraltar, the first one being British Airways and the second one being Easyjet, who we are travelling with today. and I'd like to know who's your favourite to travel with to Gibraltar. And something I've found out, well, not found out, I've observed, in my opinion, is that Easyjet is more likely to land in Gibraltar when it comes to bad weather or low cloud than British Airways. I don't know why, but Easyjet always seem to be able to land the plane no matter the weather, even if it means them circling for 5 hours in the sky above Gibraltar. So, as I said, just my little observation here as we hit the northwest coast of Spain there. And another great thing about travelling on this flight at this time of year is you spend the whole flight on the right hand side of the aircraft chasing sunset, and it really does give you a fantastic opportunity to take some beautiful shots. Absolutely impressive as we cross over central Spain now, and it won't be too long before we're actually on the ground in Gibraltar. Now, I do remember the captain warning us about some clouds, but hopefully we will be able to land without any issues as we now follow the Costa del Sol. That is the Costa del Sol in front of us, and that beautiful sunset on the horizon. I couldn't think of a better time to be landing in Gibraltar. This may actually turn out to be one of our best landings into one of the world's most dangerous airports. So as the time approaches 8 o'clock in the evening here local time, it won't be too long before it's dark. Now I'm trying to spot Gibraltar. Normally by now I would have already spotted the rock, but unfortunately I cannot see it yet. But look at the clouds just underneath us rolling in off the Mediterranean Sea. What a picture that is. This has definitely got to be one of the most visually beautiful landings we've ever done, or at least we've ever caught on camera on this channel. Now I believe the rock is somewhere in that cloud as we've done a turn around into the Bay of Gibraltar, but we still cannot spot the rock. I am doing my best. I can see the moon there, and it is very, very large this evening. It is a super moon, so that is stunning to see, but still failing to spot Gibraltar there. And I know we are very, very close, and I know we are entering the Bay of Gibraltar, but I just cannot see the rock. I don't think I've ever had a landing like this where I'm unable to spot the rock, and I'm actually starting to get nervous and wondering if we will actually be able to land, or if we're going to go to Malaga, because I've got work in the morning. So the last thing I want to do is go to Malaga and spend 4 hours on a coach getting down. But there we are. I can see Europa Point there in the distance, and that is Gibraltar. Normally you can see the rock from miles away, but this cloud has completely obscured the territory as we prepare to take a right turn again, and we prepare to land in one of the world's most dangerous airports. And look how low we are coming in. It feels like we are almost touching the sea here. This is said to be one of the most unique landings on the planet. I think this video is definitely going to show this as we get ready to line up and land at Gibraltar's only runway. We can see loads of container ships and oil tankers moored outside of Gibraltar port here as we line up, and it is quite bumpy at this point of the flight, and I expect us to be down on the ground in just a couple of minutes. But one absolutely spectacular sight, and I do have to mention this is my favourite angle to land into Gibraltar. Sometimes you can come in from the eastern side, but I think this way just offers much better views. But we should be able to get a good view of the cruise port here. We can see a cruise ship is in port this evening as we land over Gibraltar's dockyard, and we have Ocean Village coming up in view in just a couple of seconds, and our wheels are almost about to hit the ground. So there we are, we're on the ground here at Gibraltar as we pass the old demolished Victoria Stadium there, and we cross the runway. We can see the people waiting, and wow, what a fantastic flight, what an easy flight that was. It's always a very sound flight coming from the UK to Gibraltar if you are not diverted. 2 hours and 20 minutes I think was the final duration in the end. So here we are preparing to taxi into the terminal. Now the great thing is the new restrictions haven't come into place regarding immigration here in Gibraltar yet, so passport control should still be fairly rapid. But I've spotted the governor of Gibraltar in front of me who was travelling on my plane. He's jumping in his motor. Luckily for him, he doesn't have to go through passport control. He just drives off the airfield and heads up to the convent. But it's very quick to get through passport control, and we even had enough time to pick up a couple of cartons of cigarettes. So mission successful, but I think we may have to start running because the last bus will be leaving very shortly. And just as I come out of the terminal building, I spot that last bus, so I start running. So there we are, guys. I had to run to catch the bus. There was a bus at the terminal there. I didn't want to wait another 20 minutes, half an hour, so I managed to catch this one. It's going to take us to the Marketplace bus station, where it will terminate and where I shall make my way home. What a fantastic week it's been. What a fantastic trip that was. I really did have a brilliant time in London. It was lovely to see my family, to see my friends, to meet new family members. That was also a fantastic experience. But as we take the bus home, as the holiday ends and tomorrow work is calling, I think it's time to say thank you for watching, guys, and I shall see you all on the next adventure.